Krista here. I'm just so excited to share with everybody the final release of the Daisy Diaries. My personal memoir is coming out on February 22nd, 2022. It's a magical, powerful day, and it couldn't be more divine timing than to be here right now. I'm in Jupiter, Florida with none other than my phenomenal book coach, Nicole Washburn. She's a book coach, ghostwriter, copywriter who I teamed up with. And if it weren't for her, I don't think this book would be ready for its release in just days. The countdown is on, is here. So I wanted to sit down with you, Nicole, and just chat about this and our experience and ask you some questions and share with everyone some brilliant ideas and upcoming things that are brewing between us. But first, we teamed up. It was nearly like 2 years since I had started writing the Daisy Diaries. So I was deep in it. I had stopped many times and finally realized I needed to partner with someone. And when we got going and first started talking about this, what was your first impression meeting me and learning about my story?
Well, that's a great question because you and your story are so intertwined, obviously. The story grabbed me right away. It's very engaging and it's so personal and raw and vulnerable. And I think that is what also really impressed me about you right away is how much you were sharing, that you were just diving into this really amazing story that you have. And I know people had told you for years, like, this is a story, like you've had an amazing life. A lot of things have happened to you at a very young age. And so it was a page turner from the very beginning. And then to see your strength and get to know you as I was reading the story and working with you, I was extremely impressed with your ability to share and find so much meaning. And then your story, of course, has so many things that, as you've said, we've laughed about this many times, like you couldn't make this stuff up. Like it's crazier than fiction. It is like, if you and
yeah, it's so true. I know. And I'm so glad reaching this point where we can laugh about it and know that, wow, it really was worth experiencing and going through all of that pain because it was meant to be put together into the story so that my story may help others, make peace with their own stories and learn how to share their own. So I'm so glad, like how did you know then? That seems kind of clear, like how you knew you wanted to work with me. It was first one thing getting to know each other and learning about the story, but really like what made you want to dive in and like, yeah, I want to help her finish this book.
Well, and you just touched on it a moment ago when you said your story to help others. And that was always really clear that you were sharing your story. One, you had a huge passion for it and being really authentic and honest. And that was really clear. And the fact that you were sharing to help other people and to share your story as an inspirational journey from, these are your words, from darkness into light, going from really difficult situations into your empowerment, and sharing that with other people is beautiful. And that's why I said we have to work together, and it's been amazing. Yes. As we know, it's been this incredible journey.
I know.
The writing of it has been an incredible journey.
It has, because really, I don't think I would have been able to finish it without your support. I had reached a block, and I'm sure anyone else out there who has ever felt a call to share their story, to write a book, I'm sure every single one of us has run into those blocks where you start doubting yourself. Should I share this? Oh my gosh, what am I thinking? And trust me, I'm still thinking that many times a day right now. As the countdown is about to be out there, and part of me is going, I'll wake up like, throw it away, don't share it. But ultimately, without your support, you just validated that the stories we're sharing, your writing is good, get it out there. And that's what I really needed to push me to really make peace with it. The writing process alone was so healing. I didn't realize how many loose ends were like still getting tied up and healed just through writing it. And it was so magical that like when we started working together, I thought, okay, I just need to finish writing the story. But I learned I was still living it. Right. So that's the really fun thing about this book, is that as I was finishing writing it, I'm writing like, this is what is happening right now. This is crazy. I didn't know that
the story wasn't over yet, and it came to the most beautiful end, and it was so amazing to be able to share that whole experience with you and your guidance. You really helped me really identify and like piece together what parts of the story really needed to be written and shared. And it was huge. And so now that it's finally here and it's coming out on 2/22/22,
Yeah, which is perfect.
just such divine timing in so many magical ways. You know, what do you think readers are really going to enjoy and gain the most out of reading the Daisy Diaries?
Well, it's going to be an experience. It really is. It's so personal to you, and yet it's so easy for women to identify with what you've been through. There's many situations, even if it's not exactly, it won't be exactly, it's your story, but you touch on things that we live through as we go through life, and that's what you take what's happened to you and go into the more profound layer of it to see what is this all about. And that is a scary process for you to do, but for the reader to get that raw story straight from your heart, so honest, allows us to be able to see the mirror and apply the lessons that you're sharing as you're going through it. We're able to apply it to our own lives. And I'm not giving anything away. Like, I'm deliberately like talking around to make sure that
So
like
carefully.
there's no like spoilers, because it really is, this is a page turner, and there's you just want to experience it as it goes. But there is a level of empowerment that comes out of it that is so encouraging, and the way that you connect with all these people in your life, and everybody can walk away with so many lessons here and feel really empowered on a lot of different levels. And again, I'm deliberately being like very vague, because I don't want to spoil anything because there's a lot in there, but I hope it's clear what I mean.
No, I'm feeling it, and it warms my heart to hear you say that, because that what you're saying is exactly what my goal was from the beginning. And with your support, you really helped me bring that to life, because you helped me realize there are a lot more pieces to the story that needed to be included. Like you're saying, that women can relate to, you know, in like relationship trauma and how we let ourselves be treated by others, the things that we put up with and, you know, blame ourselves for and think that we're deserving of certain things. And the lessons I learned in going through my painful and a lot of shameful and a lot of embarrassing experiences were so profound on my spiritual journey that I just had to surrender, you know, let go of my own judgment, right? And just know this has to be shared, because I know, and in hearing from you and others that have been reading and helping me through the writing and editing process, you know, their reactions of, wow, I was able to take that and apply it to my life and give myself a little healing and compassion and more understanding, make sense of my life through the lessons that I shared that I learned in mine. And that's the goal. If I can help one person out there, you know, make some peace with their own past and find compassion and self-love for yourself, empower yourself to create the life that you know you deserve somewhere on a deeper level. You know, it's just reconnecting with your inner truth. And that's what I want to help other people do, because it is possible. It's amazing that I'm still here today, and I've made such a wonderful, magical life that like I refuse to sit back and watch others, you know, not do the same for themselves, you know, to not have the resources to do it themselves. If I could do it on my messy journey, then anyone can, no matter what kind of mess you've been in or are in. So it's just amazing, you know, what you can tap into, and even just through writing it. So that's what's a really beautiful thing about our work together, because through this journey, it's like we found so many serendipities between what are seemingly very different businesses. You know, you do book coaching, I do like spiritual, you know, life and yoga coaching.
Right.
And it's like, how do those two things go together? But really, it's like, this is a match made in heaven, you know, understanding that the writing process itself is healing, and there is something to be able to write a book, especially a memoir, you know, sharing your story and like tapping into this power of being able to write and get into the writer's flow is really channeling. And when we made that connection between my spiritual channeling and like this channeling to just let it flow, you'll read about it in the book. Like it literally happened to me. And that's how I was able to finish it, by really opening my channel to let it flow, to write with love and not fear, without judgment. And that's what Nicole and I cannot wait to share with you. Stay tuned. There's going to be some magical things happening. If you've ever been thinking about sharing your story, of writing a book, and you're running into blocks, stay tuned, because we are going to help you open that channel to make peace, to heal from any painful part of writing that story, and opening the channel to let it flow. And let me tell you, working with this amazing woman absolutely did that for me. So I thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. I'm so happy to be with you in person at this amazing time. We can't wait to share the Daisy Diaries with you. Feel free to comment and reach out to me anytime if you have any questions about it. If you'd like to reach out to Nicole and you just can't wait, like, I need to get started writing my book right now, she is your woman, let me tell you. Daisy Diaries wouldn't be here without you. So I can't thank you enough. And I can't wait to see what magical opportunities we can create together, not only, for ourselves, but for as many people as possible.
Yes, we've got a lot of exciting things that we're planning for this year, and stay tuned. As you say, I want to add one thing, that the courage and compassion, those are the two things that you have to go as deep as you did and have such a beautiful product at the end that reads well, that like has this magical journey that kept unfolding as you were writing it. And you showed that for yourself, the courage to step up and do it, the compassion for yourself as you are telling the story and living your life. And that's what I'm realizing this is all about, and what I'm excited to help people. And as we keep going, that it's just the courage and compassion to share your story, because we do need to get it out there, right? The world does need to hear our story, and the world needs to hear the Daisy Diaries
and your story too. So stay tuned. Yeah. I can't wait to share it with you. Again, stay tuned for more from Nicole and I. Cannot wait. And until then, my friends, take care.
Take care.